Good morning, traders. So we're still using the Bull-Williams theory and looking at the Aussie, the South African top 40. So trading has been pretty tough the last couple of days. We've got the last 6 days essentially has been indecision. We had one relatively green day. We're having big gaps up, big gaps down, and just shooting star patterns and all sorts that are happening. So there's nothing concisive, and there's so much political noise happening that I'm really concerned about putting any long-term trades in. Okay, so the thing that if we just look purely unemotionally at the Bull-Williams, you can see we are starting to flatten out, starting to point up, which normally indicates a potential change in direction. Okay, if you look here, and then it failed and came back. But anyway, that is what is quite evident at the moment. If we come down to the 4-hour, you'll see we actually have had a breakthrough of the alligator. Okay, concern I've got is the oscillator's grouped to the upside. Okay, I can't even pick up levels for you here because it is such a mess. It really is a mess. So we do have sort of this previous swing high here, which we haven't tagged yet, which from a gap perspective is the most logical thing for price to do. First hit this level and then pull away to the downside and then move back the upside. Okay. What we have here as well is a fairly tight channel. Okay, fairly tight channel to the upside. Oscillator groups over here to the sell in the sell zone, and we also have another magnet still here, which is a daily gap. Okay, nothing here is concrete for me of a move to the upside. I would expect some kind of a pullback to come and test this alligator. Okay, so let's just get down to the hour, and if we just line that up a little bit better. Okay, so now what you see is we've actually had a break below this trend line. Okay, we did break above the 200 moving average, but we could be looking at a double top here. It's not concrete, so it could just be a consolidation flag, but it could also turn out to be a double top. Okay, so inside bar, engulfing bar, so that's two patterns, two bearish patterns from a price action perspective. So yeah, I'm kind of cautious with this at the moment. If we look at 10 cents up 1% at the moment, and that's purely because of the Nasdaq closed up almost 1%. So I'm very cautious. I don't even think this is something I want to trade. There's actually a better setup on the Dax, and potentially a better setup on the Dow brewing for me. So, and those are the three that I normally trade. So the Aussie at this stage is a bit topsy-turvy. I think there was a bit of money to be made yesterday. So if you'd got that, and you had sort of the retest of the level back up there, you had a good 500-point trade on the Aussie yesterday. For now, I think you have potentially downside or even just sideways consolidation. But there's just so much brewing. There's a short brewing on the Dax and there's a short brewing on the Dow. So, logic just dictates that the Aussie will follow suit. Anyway, so these are the levels we need to watch, and I think let's just pick it up off the half hour because that'll give us fractals, I think. Yeah. So we've got this fractal to the downside, which is 45,743. Okay, and then we've got the fractal to the upside, which is 45,995 or 46. Work on 4,600 because it'll be a round number. So break above 4,600 will give us some confirmation of the upside. And when I say break, we're looking for a 30-minute or an hour close above that level. and a break below 45,740 is going to give us confidence of moves to the downside. Okay, so at this stage, this oscillator here is not looking very pretty on the half hour. This is a kind of a wise band number one, although it's not that concrete. It's not one that I'd scream about. So technically there is deviation from here, but it's not to me that's more of an indecision bar than a confirmation that there's sellers stepping in. A profit taking off a level, rallied back up, profit taking off a level again. Now we could rally back up, and then a third attempt to move to the downside. Okay, the alligator is starting to flatten out or go to sleep. If I look at the 12 minutes, you'll see it is very much asleep. So in other words, going horizontal. Okay, so for today, I would expect a gap up and then a couple of things that I'll be watching. So the first thing would be a retest, or you could even push it up there to this inside tail here, or this fractal level here. So you could get to 46,100 and then a sell-off. Okay, but a short is brewing. You can see it's clear as mud. So there is definitely a short brewing here. Okay, so yeah, that's kind of my view of this at the moment. Is I would expect us to gap up. Not sure we'll get through the double top. We may get through the double top. This may be consolidation, and then we have the final push to the upside to come and test something, which could be, it could be as high as the gap close of the Aussie, or it could just be a retest of this level here. And I think I'm going to move to the ichimoku, see if we can see something there. But for me, there is definitely something brewing here. But let's just quickly move across and see. Okay, so that's the hour. You can see we broke through the cloud, and at this stage, everything is bullish. You can see Dickinson is pointing up, price has broken through cloud. We've got a twist. We had this bullish cross here. So everything is moving. Only concern is we have deviation from Dickinson and Kijinson. Okay, so the 1 hour is bullish, but also with this double top here, I would expect a retest of the cloud. So in other words, what I'm expecting is a pullback back to, more than likely close this gap. Okay, because that lines up with the cloud. So pullback here, still bullish from the bottom, but the pullback. If we look at the 4 hour, you can see we're bouncing off the cloud. We haven't had a crossover, although it's coming close. So this, for all intent purposes, is still bearish. And we've got a grouping of the oscillator here. So, most ichimoku traders would be looking at a short on the 4 hour with a 4 hour close below 45,570. Okay. And on the daily, we're kind of flat. Everything's flat, although the cloud is coming close together here. So yeah, I think for me at this stage, I just want to check the 30 minutes. Yeah. And the 12, so the 12 has had a crossover, a bearish crossover. Don't think the cloud has crossed over, no. So there's no real strong signals on any of the time frames. So for me, it's a case of just watch and wait, see what happens. If you're going to do the 12 minutes or even the 30 minutes, watch. So normally I would say watch the break of the last hour of trading. If we get a sort of a 6 minute close above there, then the potential for upside is there. If we get a 6 minute close below the neckline here, the double top, then you've got potential for downside. So that's kind of my play for today on this. is just see what happens. I'm expecting a bit of a gap up, but then I am expecting, I'm not expecting us to go up and close this gap. Maybe wrong. If we do, that will be a short entry anyway, but I'm looking for a short somewhere between this, yeah, there. So I'm looking for a short somewhere between, from this, how to put it, from between there and there. So I'm looking for a short between 45,980 and 46,050. That's kind of what I'm looking for. Okay, so it's kind of, I'm looking for the last final push or a final flag. So this is a flag, it's a range, and I'm expecting it to be a final flag. So maybe a false break to the upside, the bears get involved and drive it down again. Okay, so that's kind of my view at the moment, and it may go past this and come and close the gap. If it does get to the gap, that will definitely be an area where I will be looking for a short. Okay, but at this stage, I'm definitely looking for a short, at least to come and test this this break here, or basically gap close. Okay, so that's my view of this at the moment. Not entirely convinced either way, so keep those stops really tight and watch it. Don't just jump in and leave it with big stops, because it could go either way. Okay, so watch it on a lower time frame if you can, and only take it if you see price action indicating that you need to be in short. Okay, that's it for me today. I hope it helps, and I'll catch you later. Cheers for now.